Okay, so we're going to talk about how to fix your grommet machine in case this happens to you. So this piece comes in the box with it. So does this piece. Mine's been in there for so long it doesn't come out anymore. But this basically just screws up in here. This is the die cut 3. Okay, you have this machine here. So there's a couple of things that happen. One, when you go to put the bottom piece in, you want to make sure that the donut part is facing down or the bubble part is facing down, and it just sits right down in there. Look how nice and neat that is, okay? It sits below that level. And this is the top piece, okay? So this is what we're going to focus on today because this is where accidents happen. This should fit on here like this, okay? So you got to imagine it being under the machine right here. The easiest way to do is to make sure that the neck part is between your fingers, and basically you push it up on it like so, okay? And then once it's on there, it's a little bit harder to get back off, okay? So let me see if I can get this back off so we can finish this video, okay? There we go. All right. So now occasionally people, they're busy and they make a mistake and they put it on like so. They come in here and they'll squeeze it on there and they put it on upside down. So now you're looking at it. You don't realize it because, of course, it's underneath here. And when you go to grommet and you push down, this goes all the way up inside, okay? And the downside to that is it's very, very difficult to get off, okay? So I'm going to push mine up in there as best I can. It's hard because I'm not going to use the grommet machine to do it. But it would basically be sitting flush with this. 2 ways of getting it out. Okay, take a tool while it's in there and push down on these pieces here, okay? Like you can see how hard it is to do, but you push those down and you can peel that back up. The easiest way to do it is to remove this from the machine, okay? Imagine now, again, this is up in there, so it's in here like this. So this neck is up in between all of this. Very difficult to move. What you want to do is get yourself the hex key. A hex key that'll fit in this. This is a TR15. Okay, so it's a 15 in here. And all you're going to do is just loosen this up a little bit. And as I loosen this, you're going to notice that this top piece is going to start to pop up. And that's because there's a spring underneath there. Okay, so it pops up like that. You don't have to loosen it any further than that. Okay, now that will also allow this to move much easier. See how this is moving a lot easier now than it was before. And I can push that in and make it easier for me to get this neck back out because I've now loosened all the pressure on this, so I can push that down with ease, basically with my fingers, and I can make it go up and down. If you need to remove the entire component of this, be very careful. You simply want to lift up on this with this part facing down. Okay, you're going to notice that there's a spring in there, okay, which I'm going to go ahead and tip over. You're also going to notice a little pinball in there, okay? So if you look down there, you see a little ball. And these are the 2 separate pieces that create these 2 pieces right here, okay? Key thing is, do not lose this spring and do not lose that ball down below, okay? It's very critical that they go back in. So that's the ball end here on the spring, and then that's the part that goes into the top, okay? So you can actually just remove these. So I'm going to go ahead and dump these into my hand, okay? And I can remove them. That'll allow me to obviously see in the bottom. And then I can remove this piece with ease because there's nothing, you're giving the center pressure to it. When you go to put these back into place, okay, the round part with the kind of the indentation here is what goes in first, okay? All right, it'll drop right down into the hole there. Okay, my lovely camera person here is making sure everything's getting in there, okay? You'll place the other one down in there. I use my hex key when I do this to make sure everything's lined up. It is a little bit tedious to get down in there and get it in there the right way, okay? So it's got to fit right down there beside the other one. And there we go. So right down there. When you drop the ball in there, you want the ball to go right down into that hole like that. Now the easiest way to put the spring back in, okay, I'm going to hold this in this hand. I'm going to put the spring in here, okay? And this actually fits on top of this piece here. And I'm basically going to slowly insert that. And you'll notice that this indented hole is lining up with my hex key. That way when I push this down into it, I simply take my hex key, tighten it back up. I've now fixed the obstruction, and I can just practice, and this goes up and down like it's supposed to, okay? And allow me to re-grommet. So that's how you repair your grommet machine.